That person is sending you something right now. Not a message you can read. Not a warning you can prepare for. Something older than language, moving through you in the hours when your conscious mind finally stops arguing with itself, and the part of you that actually knows things gets to speak. Not your imagination running loose. Not stress looking for a face to borrow. This has already been happening. You just did not have the words for it yet. And the fact that you are here watching this means something in you already knew that. Welcome. If you are new here, this channel exists for one reason: to give language to the things you have been feeling but could not explain. Subscribe before we go further, because the signs we are going through today build on each other. Stay until sign number 5. That is the one most people find impossible to explain away. And the final sign, the 7th, changes the way you understand every dream you have ever had. There are 7 signs. Let us begin. The next one is something you have probably dismissed 100 times. But after today, you will not be able to. Sign number 1. The dream feels more real than your waking life. You know the difference. You have had regular dreams, scattered, strange, half-formed things that dissolve before you can hold them. But this is not that. When you dream of this person, something is different. The air has weight. Their voice has the exact texture you remember. Not a performance of them. Most people assume this vividness is just a sign of how much they miss someone. It is not. It is not longing. It is signal. Dr. Matthew Walker at the University of California, Berkeley spent years mapping what the brain does during REM sleep, the stage where your most vivid dreams occur. What he found is that REM is the brain's emotional processing center. It does not replay memories randomly. It replays the ones that carry unresolved charge. The ones that are not finished. The ones the waking mind filed away but never actually closed. What this means for you is this: the realness you feel in that dream is not a glitch. It is your nervous system telling you that something in this connection still has weight, still has meaning, still has something left to do. You were not imagining it. That is the first thing you need to understand. But here is where it gets uncomfortable. Sign number 2. The details are too specific to be random. They're sent. The exact cadence of how they laughed. A look in their eyes that no one else would even recognize. That specific softness, or that particular grief, that only you knew was there. You dreamed it. Exactly. And you woke up wondering how your sleeping mind could have produced something that precise. Most people assume the brain fills in gaps, invents details, creates a version of the person. It does not work that way. It is not invention. It is retrieval. Sigmund Freud, in The Interpretation of Dreams, identified something that neuroscience has since confirmed through completely different methods. The unconscious mind stores far more than the conscious mind can access. It does not lose things. It archives them. Every inflection, every glance, every moment that registered below the threshold of your awareness. What this means for you is this: when that scent appears in a dream, it was always there, stored with perfect fidelity. Your mind did not create it. It surfaced it, because something in you needed to remember. That is not nothing. That has never been nothing. What comes next is the one researchers did not expect to find. Sign number 3. You carry the dream into the day. This is the part most people miss. You wake up. Reality reassembles itself around you. The ceiling, the light, the ordinary sounds of a morning. And you know it was a dream, But there is something in your chest that has not gotten that memo yet. You sit at a table. You answer questions. You go through the ordinary machinery of the day. But part of you is still in that dream, still standing in that room, still looking at that face. Most people assume this residue is just emotion, just the aftershock of missing someone. It is not. It is not nostalgia. It is unfinished processing. Antonio Zadra at the University de Montreal has spent decades studying recurring dreams. His research found something striking. Recurring dreams almost never appear randomly. They appear in direct relationship to unresolved conflict or unfinished emotional work in the waking life. And here is the critical part. When the conflict resolves, the dream stops. Not slowly. It stops. What this means for you is this: that absent, distracted feeling you carry through the day after one of these dreams is not weakness. It is your mind doing something your waking self has not been able to finish. You are not stuck. You are mid-process. The weight in your chest means the work is happening. And that is not even the part that changes things. Sign number 4. The person who appears is not always who you think they are. This is the one that tends to unsettle people. You dream of someone specific, someone real, someone you know, and it feels like the dream is about them, about your connection, about what happened between you. But Carl Jung, whose work in analytical psychology mapped the architecture of the unconscious mind across decades of clinical study, proposed something that changes everything about how to read these dreams. Most people assume the figure in the dream represents that person. It does not. It is not them. It is you. Jung found that the figures who appear most persistently in our dreams are often projections, reflections of the parts of ourselves we have not yet integrated, not yet acknowledged, not yet given room to exist. The person in your dream is carrying something that belongs to you. Quality, a wound, a longing, a strength you have not claimed yet. What this means for you is this: the dream keeps returning not because of them. It keeps returning because there is something in you that is ready to be seen, and it shows a face you would not look away from. You are not dreaming of them. You are dreaming of a part of yourself they helped you recognize. Let that sit for a moment. But what comes next is the sign most people find hardest to explain away. Because this one does not just happen around you. This one happens through you. Sign number 5. Your body knows before your mind does. You have felt this. Before you are fully awake, before the dream has even fully surfaced into conscious memory, there is something already happening in your chest. A heaviness. Not sadness exactly. Something older than sadness. Your throat tightens as if there were words that needed to be said and the window for saying them is closing. There is a sinking feeling that moves down through your stomach and settles there, like something weighted dropping through water. Most people assume this is just the physiological residue of an emotional dream. It is not. It is not aftermath. It is information. Dr. Ernest Hartmann at Tufts University developed what he called boundary theory, the idea that some people have what he described as thin psychological boundaries. They are more emotionally permeable, more empathetically attuned, more sensitive to meaning beneath the surface of experience. These are the people who have the most vivid, most emotionally intense, most recurring dreams. And his research found that this is not a flaw in the system. What this means for you is this: if your body is responding to this dream the way it responds to something real, that heaviness in the chest, that tightness in the throat, it is because on some level it is real. Your nervous system does not distinguish between categories of experience the way your logical mind does. It responds to what it registers as significant. You are not overreacting. Your body is paying attention. This is the part most people miss. Sign number 6. The dream is protecting you. I want to speak directly to someone watching this. You lost something. Maybe a person. Maybe a version of a relationship. Maybe a version of yourself that existed when that person was part of your life. Maybe it was recent, still raw, still close to the surface. Maybe it was years ago, something you thought you had put away, filed, handled. But you know the moment I am talking about. The moment when something that felt permanent turned out to be temporary. And you have not fully let yourself grieve it. Because grieving it made it too real. Most people assume these dreams are prolonging the grief. They are not. They are not holding you back. They are carrying you through. Dr. Rosalind Cartwright at Rush University Medical Center spent years studying people going through divorce and loss, tracking their dreams over time. What she found stopped her. The people who dreamed most frequently of the person they had lost, the ones who seemed most caught in the dream, showed significantly better emotional recovery a year later than those who did not dream of them at all. What this means for you is this: your dreaming mind is doing grief work your waking mind does not know how to do yet. It is not torturing you. It is not keeping you attached. It is processing something that needs to be processed in a place where your defenses cannot intervene. I am not going to tell you that was nothing. The night you woke up at 3 a.m. with that weight on your chest, that was not weakness. The morning you sat with your coffee and could not shake the feeling of that dream, that was not being stuck. You were right to pay attention. You were not wrong to feel it. Sign number 7. The dream stops when you hear what it is saying. This is the one that changes how you understand everything else. There is a true account, someone who dreamed for months of a face they did not recognize. An unfamiliar person, recurring with strange persistence, showing up in different settings, never speaking, only present. Months of this. The kind of dream that starts to feel like a mystery you cannot solve because you cannot find the question. And then, searching through old photographs, they found it. There, in the background of a photograph from childhood, the face. A friend they had not thought of in decades. A person who had simply fallen out of memory. The mind had kept them, filed them away with perfect accuracy, and brought them forward when something in the present needed that connection, that memory, that unfinished thread. Most people assume dreams are where the mind goes when it is idle. It is not. It is not idle. It is working. Dr. Deirdre Barrett at Harvard Medical School has studied what she calls visitation dreams, the vivid, emotionally saturated dreams of someone we have lost or left. Her research found these dreams serve a specific psychological function. They allow the dreaming mind to complete emotional sequences the waking mind interrupted, to say what was not said, to hear what was not heard, to close what was left open. What this means for you is this: the dream will keep returning until you listen to what it is actually asking. Not the surface question, not why this person, not what they mean. The deeper question: what part of you has been waiting to be acknowledged? What piece of your own story you have been avoiding? What you already know but have not yet been willing to say out loud. The dream is not haunting you. It is waiting. You started this video thinking you were going to learn about someone else, what it means that they keep appearing, what message they might be carrying. But the message was never about them. It was always about you. The person in the dream was just a door, and you have been standing in front of it long enough. Before you scroll, think about the one thing in your life you have been pretending not to see. Not the obvious one. The real one. The one that shows up at 3 a.m. when the noise finally goes quiet. Drop just one word in the comments, and tell me this: what was happening in your life when the dream started? What was the moment? What was the sign that something in you needed to be heard? I read every one.